everybody, I'm Allison Cope and welcome to the Scrap and Stamp video blog for today. And today we're going to be making a woven card, so come and join me. Alright, let's get started on our weaving process here. We're going to make this fairly easy. We're going to use 4 and 4. So these are 1/4 inch strips of azalea and cherry blossom cardstock from Prism Studio. And we're going to start by weaving it so that we can adjust it to fit our card front. So we're going to start by making an X. And I'm going to alternate each color. So pink, like dark pink, light pink, etc. So we're going to weave as we go. So if this is over top, then the next one, it goes under. So we'll put another pink one on this side. And this one, you're going to use the same method. Oops. We might use some temporary tape here just to maintain our angle. There we go. So this one has to go under, just like that one. And then we're going to go exactly like this one and go over. Okay. And then we're going to start the opposite. So you can just literally kind of slide it if it's going to stay. This is not going to stay. So let's just add a little bit more tape there. Okay, so if this one is under, then this one has to go over. So you just lift and push it through, and we'll just stick that down. There we go. We will kind of adjust these, so don't worry. We're going to bring in another one on this side, so we're going to match it to this. Under, over, under, over. You can definitely do a different pattern, but we're trying to make this fairly simple today. There we go, and we have one more to go. We're going to do it the same under, over as the previous dark pink. There we go. And you know what? Let's make it 5. We always have extra off to the side here. So I'm going to go and do this side again. So you're just going to, whatever the opposite strand did, you're going to go the opposite over under. And that's what gives it that woven look. So there's number 5 on this side, and we're going to go number 5 on this side too. And here we go. Under, over, under, over. Okay, there we go. And do whatever kind of makes it easier for you. Now we have to kind of adjust the things here. So I'm going to pull this down a bit, trying not to lose my woven aspect. If you don't attach them, then you can play with them a little. Paper is a little bit forgiving in this aspect. So I'm just trying to make them all kind of come up to the same line at the top, because that will make it easier to adhere it down to the card flap. So I'm just using my kind of my paper in my background here to kind of make them somewhat straight. You can always trim them off, it's not a big deal, but I'm just using it as a guideline. And here's here's the 5th one. And I'm just trying to make them parallel to one another so that it looks like a pretty even design and even gaps. It's not too bad. Okay, so now we're going to attach this to the card base. So I have an A2 top folding card. It's already pre-scored. I am going to take my score line and I'm going to put it at 3/4 of an inch, and I'm going to chop it off. So we have 3/4 of an inch between the score and the end, and then I just need another 3/4 inch piece. Actually, let's make it a little bit bigger. Let's make it a little larger at the bottom. Let's go 1.25 inches. Okay. So now I'm going to flip this over so that it folds properly. And what I want to do to keep my sizing for my card correct here, we're just going to tack this temporarily to my surface. This is the piece that I cut out. So it's my guideline for the end of my A2 card. So now I know my gap is exactly A2 from like this to there. We're just going to slide this little puppy right here, but we need to put down some adhesive first. Okay, so I'm trying not to move this. We're going to bring in some sticky. Who doesn't love Sukwang tape? I'm going to run a strip of it. I hope I didn't move that. Down the top and the bottom. I'm going to take off our backer. Okay, then we're going to take our beautifully woven piece and hope the heck that it stays in place. This one moved a bit here. Come on, little fellas, you gotta... You know what? There is a solution to this. Hang on. Okay, get it all perfect again. Where you want it. Trying to make things parallel again. Okay. And we're going to tape it together. Oh my goodness. That's the disadvantage of doing this technique, but that's okay. We'll persevere. All right, stay, little fella. Then you can either put it at the top or somewhere in the middle. I'm going to go try and kind of center it here. Oop. And then you're just going to press it into the tape. And maybe start with one side first. And this is what happens when things don't stay in place. So it's a little finicky, I will admit. Just try and space them out. And then try to put them back together at the top. Oh, seriously, people. And once she's stuck, she's stuck. This little fella does not want to go into its spot. Okay, I don't know if it's straight, but that's the way she goes. This one maybe needs to be adjusted. All right, here she is. Make sure they're good and stuck. Okay, so let's remove these pieces to start. Come on, little fella. Okay, let's do a little trim with our scissors. I'll come back and trim the outside of that in a second. It doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to cover the inside. It just can't be across the fold, that's all. Don't trim them beforehand because I think they'll be even harder to work with. Trim them after you are done with the woven magic. Just stick your little pair of scissors underneath and away you go. And they don't have to be perfect, doesn't have to line up. We are going to cover it all. Okay, and then flip it over and then just make sure you don't have anything past those edges, including your adhesive. Okay, there we go. Okay, that's looking pretty cool. Okay, so I am going to go in with a piece of cardstock, and you're going to cover this because this is on the inside of your card. You don't want your recipient to see it. I am going to take this and shorten it just a bit. Like, this is a 3/4 inch piece, but I'm going to chop off a little bit more because this fold takes up some of that real estate, and let's not make it unsightly and unable to fold. So we're also, wrong tape. And we're going to make sure this is adhered down a lot. So I'm going to put 2 rows of tape and adhere this down. Okay, I'm going to do the same to the bottom. Now it's time to decorate. We are going to use the Sunflower Collection. This is the Striking Sunflower metal die. It makes these cute little sunflowers, and we have some greenery and leaves. So we're just going to position these wherever you kind of see fit. And just be aware that your adhesive may go through to the back. And we can put backer pieces on, or we can try and maintain them down at the bottom or on the strips. So I'll show you how to deal with that on the back side. I'm going to adhere these down and then we'll come right back. So I figured to make it easier on myself, I'm going to actually add adhesive to the actual bands. Therefore, the glue is going to stay for the most part on those strips. So that way I don't have glue that goes and transfers through to the back. And there we go. We have our sunflowers all attached and ready to go. And you have an open kind of card design. Now, as far as putting a sentiment, you could put something across here. You could tuck it underneath. And as for writing to your recipient, you could always do that on the back, or you could add an additional flap of even copy paper and hide it, and then it flips open to reveal your message. So lots of ways to finish this off, but there we go, a woven card. Thanks for joining me today, and I hope I've taught you something, and we'll see you again soon. Bye guys.